Welcome everyone, StarFlagMedia. My name is Anthony, aka UWA Avenger on PC Master Race, and you can catch my boy Chris.
Yes, Chris, aka Talents 860 on PlayStation. Maybe Talents 860 on Xbox or UWA Talents on Xbox.
Soon to come on PC.
I mean, I won't call it a master race, but
you wouldn't because you're not
looking
part of
at
it.
the idea of getting a PC.
I mean, I just like playing my games at more than 1080p. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I play my games on
I don't give a shit.
1440p.
I don't even give a shit. This is a guy who is playing Switch as his main console for games barely running at 900p 30 frames. So, so honestly, it's just me trolling. But this week, again, another slow week in gaming, pretty much. But
yeah, it's nothing but rumors out there and
lots of crap that there's unsubstantiated and nothing that we can really point to and go, oh my god, we have to talk about that this week.
Boy, oh boy, did I learn my lesson about unsubstantiated rumors
2 weeks ago. I'll tell you what else we're learning our lesson about for the 80th time is those Switch 2 rumors.
Yep.
I'll be damned if how many times did we hear we're going to hear a Nintendo Switch Pro since it launched. We heard about the Wii U going pro. We heard about the Wii going pro. And one thing that we can, and I'm just that one guy who always looks at Nintendo and go, none of that's going to happen because that's just not Nintendo. So now the latest thing is it's not even going to come out this year. It's going to be in March of 2025. And so we've got an one more whole year of Nintendo Switch.
And I think that's good because if they have a chance to break the
PS2
#1 console sell mark, whatever you want to call it, I think they've
got a real chance. Yeah. So even the guys got to remember one thing is like even if the Switch 2 comes out next year, it's not like they're just going to stop selling Switches.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be at least 2 more years of the Switch.
I believe 3DSs were sold last week on NPD or whatever they call it now.
I mean, they're still selling them, so they're not
found them in the back.
They're not going away anywhere. So I mean, but we know that at least they're going to get third-party support for a few more years.
Yeah,
they just finished. The eShop finally closed for the Wii U. So think about that. How long has the Wii U been, gone for 5 years or whatever? And they're done. They're finally going to stop servicing the Wii U and 3DS in Japan.
Yeah.
And that's a console that came out in 2012.
Sad day. I believe it or not.
Sad day for a lot of people out there, and
yes.
Chris shared this information with us last night.
Did I?
I think it was last night in the group chat.
It's still a sad day. Well, the sad day for the 3DS and the Wii U shop because I witnessed.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was talking about something else.
I witnessed. I watched the YouTube show and a dude bought the entire 3DS library.
Wow.
He bought multiple memory cards to put all the games on there because he knew that the shop was going away.
I see. So he went through the entire eShop and put it all on SD cards.
Yes.
That's one way of preserving a library, I'll tell you that. There's a lot of games on the eShop that are not going to be available anywhere else and we'll never see them again.
Yeah. So
but speaking of sad days.
Man, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. 2 weeks ago we talked about.
Tell the people who that is.
So Akira Toriyama, he is the creator of Dragon Ball. Not everyone's, but a lot of people out there know who Goku is. He's the creator of Dragon Ball. He is the artist that lent his talents to Dragon Quest.
860.
He lent his talents to Dragon Quest and Chrono Triggers. So he had his influence in the gaming sphere. He also helped influence the creator of Naruto. The Naruto creator, he's been on record.
But all that pales in comparison to Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is massive.
Yeah, it's super big. Pause.
It's just worldwide, probably the biggest anime ever.
Yeah,
that's really fair to say. And you know, it's a sad day for people who enjoyed that series. You were mentioning that he's left it to his apprentice.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of his name. Last night in the group chat, I dropped the news that he passed away, and kind of find out he passed away, I believe, a week ago, March 1st. He passed away March 1st, and they released a statement, and they was saying like, no, we don't want visitors. No, we don't want flowers sent to the house.
Right.
We don't want any of that. And you know, you got to respect the family's wishes, first and foremost. And I honestly think
that's a lot of people's childhood. A lot of people's
childhood.
Man,
he influenced and shaped a lot, bro.
Absolutely.
I never forget. In the 5th or 6th grade, coming home to Toonami, where they got the newest episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and they were finishing and completing the Namek saga where Goku finally beats Frieza. Because prior to that point, it was probably on Fox or whatever, and the show used to always stop at like a certain point.
Yeah, of course.
And then it would just always recycle the contractual whatever.
Yes.
But Cartoon Network bought the rights or the license or whatever they had to do, and they started airing it from then on. And it was like, oh, we're finally gonna get to see
the story unfold. Super Saiyan. Yeah, we're gonna see.
We was all drawing. We was all going to the library and printing out pictures of Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 5 and all the fake stuff. We ain't know.
Yeah, there you go. The fan made art that nobody knew was fan made art. Everybody was just saying this is fact.
Yeah, we was all doing that, and then we were finally gonna get a chance to see. It. So it was like,
man, you just brought back some memories and a little unrelated stuff, but like we used to go to the public library and print out create a wrestler statistics so we could go back home and create like
for No Mercy and all
of the wrestling games. Yeah, just to make the wrestler we wanted. Anyway, man, game facts.
I remember when the library used to be game facts. Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow. For all the old heads out there, for Pokemon Red and Blue, I went to GameFAQs and I learned the missing number code where you could get the infinite Master Balls and red candies.
Amazing stuff. Well, it's a sad day. Yeah, thoughts and prayers to Kensuke Samayaki.
And Akira Toriyama.
That guy. So...
Yo, he made the Shade Room. I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that. But also, like, this is gonna sound whatever, but Dragon Ball is huge in the African American community. And the kids that grew up in the 90s.
It's huge everywhere. But the Shade Room is,
and a lot of the guys that run the demographic. Shade Room are probably I was like, that.
Huh?
The people who run the Shade Room are probably in that era that grew up with Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but I was shocked. I was shocked to see it.
I was a little surprised.
I was shocked.
But I mean, I think that when Miyamoto dies, for example, that's gonna be everywhere. I think like TMZ will probably cover that too. Like the guy that created Super Mario.
The guy who made Mario.
You know, he's in the 70s. So
yeah, he was that meme of him when the Mario movie dropped and he was in the corner.
Yeah.
And it was like,
that's the guy that made Mario. Right there. It's right there. It's behind the guy.
Yeah.
And he's just chilling, and nobody knew who he was.
Yeah, I felt bad for that. I felt bad for him in that moment because,
man, I think he was elated. I think he's super happy not to be noticed. Everywhere he normally goes for public appearances, people do know who he is, and he looks really uncomfortable.
Okay,
but that's neither here nor there. Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace, and send flowers because the family said not to. Next subject we're going to be talking about is this week we had some social justice warrior news.
ESG?
Yeah, so we've got a company out there, and this is a bit controversial. Okay. Whether you lean left or you lean right, we've noticed a trend, and we've talked about this in our private lives.
Yeah.
Before we really got onto the podcast or anything like that, but we talked about how we've noticed a trend in video games where character models don't accentuate sexuality in the ways that they used to. Let's just say it that way. So certain characters may not be physically attractive in the traditional sense of what video games used to be. Even characters that were established in the books, they look nothing like their comic book counterparts. For example, Mary Jane and Spider-Man looks nothing like the comic book version or even the cartoon version or
I'm
any
so
previous.
Sorry.
What are you gonna say about Mary Jane and Spider-Man?
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sound so
whatever
barbaric.
Say it
by saying this.
Say it.
But like,
say it.
In video games, we like the women to
look a certain way.
We like the women to be hyper attractive because
video games are very similar to comic books.
Yes.
The dudes all look like they're on steroids, jacked up, and they look like He-Man and they're Superman, and they're incredibly, muscular paws, but also they're just unrealistically hyper male, hyper testosterone. And then the females are their counterparts. Now, that's not to say that we can have strong women or strong X-Men or whatever. It's
not about that.
But
it's
we are used to a certain type of character in these worlds, especially when
Laura Croft.
I seen
a meme of Laura Croft from the years.
Yeah.
And she went from huge triangle boobs,
gigantic,
to the graphics got better. They were rounded out.
Made them more realistic.
They were rounded out.
She would have been really top heavy and couldn't do those backflips.
Yeah, she was very top heavy, and it was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. But whatever. And then they just made her flat chested out of nowhere. And I'm not like.
I mean, they made her a gymnast, not unattractive, just different.
No, there's some gymnasts out there.
The new Lara Croft, I still would.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I wouldn't,
with some imaginary character.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but what I'm saying is like, bro, it's all fiction. It's fiction. It's not real life.
It's supposed to be over the top.
And it's supposed to be over the top.
It's imaginary.
It's a dramatization.
Fantasy.
Yeah, you're playing a game, and
so we said all of that to get to this point. There is a controversy brewing with a company called Sweet Baby Inc. And
Sweet Baby Jesus, what the fuck did they do?
So here's a little synopsis of what Sweet Baby Inc. is known for.
Sweet Baby Jesus, please.
Sweet Baby is a story writing company hired to supplement video game studios' writing staff. The idea is a studio can hire them to flesh out a game's script or storyline. So far, so good. No, wait. So far, so good, right? If you're, having writer's block or whatever.
So they're gonna help flesh it out.
Yeah, let's put in some extra missions and flesh out the story. Okay. So the company, however, is very transparent in one thing. They have a goal of approaching writing with a focus on representation and marginalized groups. For a growing number of players,
and that's where they fuck up at.
So for a growing number of players, this is a dog whistle for the unwanted insertion of political ideologies.
Yeah, I agree.
Or other topics that frankly, most gamers aren't interested in.
I agree. What they did to Hollywood and Hollywood movies, they're slowly and already
into video games.
Yeah,
they've already done it to comic books. They made Superman bisexual.
No, why?
Did you guys ever see the video of Stan Lee when somebody asked
they said they made Spider-Man gay or
bisexual,
and he said he said what? He was what?
Stay in the frame.
So when they asked him,
he said what? I gotta make a phone call.
And he made that phone call, and that shit ain't never come back out.
And guess what never happened with Spider-Man? But guess what Superman's son was doing?
Yo, they gotta, so...
Anyway, let's just complete what it's saying here. So, for a growing number of players, this is a dog whistle for unwanted insertion of political ideologies or other topics that they aren't interested in. And in other words, it's a distraction from what really matters. making a good game, you can easily find examples of these sports or sorts of people on social media. At the end of the day, we just want a game that plays well and it's not hitting us over the head with any political messages. It's an escapism. We want to get out of reality. Many releases, the most recent game of which being Suicide Squad, have had Sweet Baby credited as part of the writing staff. And these games have been a major disappointment for many players. Sweet Baby credit is now being thought of as a leprosy and the indicator of games to avoid. The company has become an easy scapegoat for the growing dissatisfaction with major releases. That same dissatisfaction with major studios has led to the success of other games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Pal World, and also HellDivers2, which doesn't focus on any of those things. As players are starting to explore other studios, smaller studios, to find the experiences that they want to have.
All right, so
yeah, go on.
First,
I said a lot there.
Yeah, you said a lot. So first, Suicide Squad is a service, as the games is a service,
live service game, and that's a whole nother issue.
And that's what's wrong with it first, because they prioritize money over gameplay and entertainment,
and it killed it.
And so that's what's wrong with it,
and it killed it.
But two, yeah, you add that extra wokeness, yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
I agree.
But to include Power World and HellDivers, to say that their success is because it didn't have the wokeness in it.
I would say HellDivers2 is definitely a good indicator for a dumb, let's just say a dumb game.
It's just fun.
It's dumbed down. We want, it's a caveman game.
Yeah.
It's a big gun, kill bug,
kill robot,
flash, boom, ha 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 ha, rinse, wash, repeat.
Oh, you died. Ha 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 ha.
I died.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha,
so yeah. But Power World, but to say that Power World and HellDivers,
that's
and
just
all of
an
that,
example that was written in that was taken from like just a random article.
Yeah, but that's
their
opinion. But
that's true. But I don't disagree with that. Those games are massively popular.
Yeah, they're massive.
And they don't have political messages.
Yes, I agree to that. But what I disagree about that statement is the fact that those developers, they're smaller developers. They're not AAA. Yeah. They're not getting the most money. So what they're doing is they're making passion games.
I think that's what the article was saying.
Oh, okay. Well,
we're drunk.
This is the Drunken Idiot show.
So you guys will go back and hear what I said. I don't know because I'm not going to reread it. But I think from what I gathered from it was that
I tuned down.
Yeah, probably. That was probably a little too long. I'm sorry, guys. But what I gathered from it was that gamers are going to those games because they're not beating your head over. They're not beating you over the head with political messages. They're just real simple games, and gamers are floating towards them because it's what we want. Even though they're not AAA studios,
yeah,
we found out that the AAA games aren't giving us what we're looking for.
Yeah,
and we're now discovering these AA titles.
I can agree. I agree with that. It's about fun when you're playing the game. All right, I remember you was talking about you want escapism.
Yeah,
you want all that.
Forget about all the politics.
Yeah, you want to play a game and you just want to have fun. Mm-hmm. Now, the third thing that was mentioned is fuck, I'm drunk, but
yeah,
I'm just gonna say, listen, keep the woke stuff out.
I'm gonna ask you another question. So the latest controversy, what really brought this forward, it wasn't just because Sweet Baby Inc. exists as a company and other studios. Studios can choose to make the company, to hire them. It was a guy who put a curator list on Steam. So what he ended up doing is this guy went out and he figured out all the games that Sweet Baby Inc. has worked on.
Yeah.
And he made a list of them on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you join Steam or you join this list, you can avoid or buy, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But you can avoid, if you're not looking for that kind of a game, any game associated with Sweet Baby Inc.
Yeah. So you could you could go to or not.
You can choose to boycott it, or people. So the problem is that gamers as a whole are pretty negative. So they're probably realistically, right? Yeah. So they're probably going to boycott these games, and it's going to cost studios a lot of money, and it's going to cost Sweet Baby Inc. a lot of money. But on the flip side, if you want to be Mr. Positivity, right? If you want to support these games, you can go to this curator list and purchase all the Sweet Baby Inc. games.
So what I was going to say, because I remember now, was it's like, all right, boom. It's we don't need. Well, I personally feel we don't need inclusion. You could call me whatever you want. You could call me a coon. You could say whatever.
Wow.
Listen, it's fine. But
I don't need it either.
What I will say is
perfectly fine with Batman and Superman being white forever.
I
don't need them to be black. I don't need them to be Puerto Rican
because they're white characters
and they're established,
and that's fine. So it's like when you bring me the Black Panther. And you see what the numbers that the first Black Panther did?
Gigantic.
It's because, all right, we got an established black character.
That was amazing.
That's
greatness.
That's already been there.
And it was great. The first movie was amazing. I was cheering for Michael B. Jordan, to be honest.
My problem with Hollywood today is they like to go outside, not even outside, but they like to flirt with ideas of, all right, let's do a black Superman.
What about this morning I sent Denzel Washington in Gladiator 2.
I seen that you sent that. I ain't played whatever it was.
So to be fair, I've only read the headlines. I don't know what role he has in it. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be the Gladiator, guys. He's 60-something years old. God forbid he plays the Gladiator.
Yeah.
But he is playing another role of Hannibal. And he is 60-something years old. You know Hannibal that conquered.
Yeah, I know
Hannibal was like in his early 20s.
We know.
Anyway,
well, I know.
But but that's besides the fact. Yeah, most people should know. Hannibal was like a beast.
All right. So
I
gotta separate it because when it comes to fictional characters,
right?
You got your list of fictional characters, and you got who the artist made them to be when he created them. So like for me, it's like if the studios flirt and say we're gonna make a black Superman movie starring Michael B. Jordan, in my head I'm like, no, that'd be awful. Because
people are not gonna associate a black Superman with a black dude as Superman, even though there is a black Superman. It's
but
and it's not gonna work.
Either way, it's like, bro, work. Don't make a black Superman because I'm black.
Can we make the best Spawn movie instead?
Yeah, let's use the characters that are already black and
who are amazing already. Can we make a Miles Morales Spider-Man?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was a great Killmonger. I always said,
the animated Miles Morales was amazing.
Yeah, So, but what I'm saying is, Michael B. Jordan was a great Killmonger.
I liked him.
I think he would have made a great Black Panther for Black Panther 2 once we found out that Chad Boswick passed away.
Yeah, all right.
I was like, bring him back.
Hey, man, and I know that would not have been comic book accurate, and I understand that in the books, his sister takes over later. But the
Marvel Cinematic Universe is not the comic book,
and they should have. Listen, you could have also just recast the boy. You could just recast him and make T'Challa come back and be a new guy. And
yeah, they promised not to. I get the promise.
They sure as hell did it with Iron Man.
Oh yeah, with Don Cheadle.
War Machine. Don Cheadle came in. And they didn't have a problem with that.
All right, so pause. But I like Don Cheadle. That's my guy, man.
But after seeing Iron Man 1, and at the very end, when he looks at the suit and he
says, "Oh, next time."
I wanted to see him in that fucking suit.
Yeah, you wanted to see. But Terrence Howard is
hard to work with. You
know why he's hard to work with?
He's crazy. Did you hear his math conspiracy why 1 × 1 doesn't equal 1?
Yeah, Terrence Howard is
he's a little out there.
Yeah, he
got a little touch of the tisms.
Nah, I like to say he's too smart for his own good.
A little touch of the tisms.
He's too smart for his own good.
He's a great actor, by the way, too. But
he's a great. But
I think he takes himself way too seriously in his art form, way too seriously, and that's what cost him in the Marvel world. Because my God, he would have been such a. Not to take anything away from Don Cheadle, but he was. I don't feel like he was. I don't think he's better. I know Don Cheadle's an Academy Award winner. I don't think he's better than Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard's a. I've seen him do some acting that's just in the moment. You're in it. You're in the moment, and you're like, holy crap, this dude's got, pause. He got me in this scene. Like Terrence Howard could act, bro. He's a good freaking actor, man.
Pause. Don Cheadle,
fantastic too, but
every movie or TV show that I've seen Don Cheadle headline or star,
yeah,
I was like
into it.
Yeah,
but not in the Marvel world. To me,
he's a dry.
He was a dry war machine.
He's a dry war machine. I agree. He's
where
a dry
Terrence
war machine.
Howard was like, yo, I could see him as the rival to Tony.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
Yeah.
But we digress.
But so what I'm saying is, it's like, bro, like, don't put all this woke shit. I don't need representation.
I'm happy.
Just create either create brand new characters or to represent me, or use the existing ones. But like, don't use the created white ones or Spanish ones
and flip their race,
and then flip the race, or make them a girl and all of that, because that's the problem right now.
Thor: Love and Thunder, they put Natalie Portman in there as Thor.
Yeah, like it's just.
Listen, I love guys. I love comic books. I love all this stuff. We grew up reading them, and when I was a kid, I didn't give a shit if Superman was white. I didn't give a shit that Batman was white.
It was just Superman. It was just Batman,
Spider-Man, and Wolverine.
Black Panther was just Black Panther.
Storm was Storm. And Storm was from Africa, and she was badass.
Was black. So
and Jubilee was Japanese, and she was badass.
Yeah, so it's really one of those, like, bro, like, stop flipping everything.
Or whatever she was.
Stop flipping everything. I didn't know she was Japanese.
I didn't know. I know she was Asian.
Okay, so that's good, because you said it. I just nodded in my head.
Asian-ish.
But I was just like,
I could be wrong.
I was like,
but
okay.
I believe Jubilee was Asian.
I
might be wrong.
So,
Jason, fact check.
As far as for the gaming industry, if y'all want to listen, or if y'all happen to just scroll by and y'all see us,
so
I'm just gonna say, listen, if you can make a passion project and make a game about fun and prioritize the fun over the money, it'll get bought, and I'm pretty sure that you'll have net positive results in the long run.
I agree, because know your audience. Know your audience. Gamers do have women. Gamers do have minorities. Gamers are of all shapes and sizes and political leanings, but the majority of gamers don't want to be battered or over the head or catered to. We just want to play a fun video game. The problem with Sweet Baby Inc. also was that they are coming for the guy who curated the list. They want to get it removed from Steam. They consider it an assault, and now they've actually have internal.
So where's our assault? Well, obviously, where's our assault now? Where's been assault to the?
So they just feel like they're being attacked, even though all the guy did was put a list of games that they've worked on. Now they're calling them right wingers, because the right wingers, of course, have jumped on it.
Yeah,
and they noticed the pattern. But hey, guys, what are your thoughts on Sweet Baby Inc?
Yeah.
The next thing that I want to talk about, because you touched upon it lightly, and before we end our podcast, was live service games. Warner Brothers had the top-selling game of 2023,
Harry Potter.
And
it's single player.
It's a single-player experience. It's probably. I mean, it's not probably. It is. It's 1000%, because we know for sure with the numbers, the most popular game of 2023 was Harry Potter's, or what's it called? It's not called
Hogwarts Legacy.
Thank you. Hogwarts Legacy was the top-selling game of 2023. It beat out
Call
of Duty, guys. So the top-selling game of the entire year is a single-player experience. And guess what? Warner Brothers
is the second year that Call of Duty did not
And guess what Warner Brothers decided?
They doubled the fuck down.
After the spectacular failure that was
The
Suicide Squad
killed
the Suicide Squad, they've decided that live service games are their future. Even though Harry Potter's
They canceled a Mandalorian game.
They canceled the Mandalorian game.
Oh my god! You know how much that would have did?
They had a freaking
that would have
Star
so
Wars.
crazy.
They had a Star Wars
Grogu
game.
and the Mandalorian series alone. They would have. Man, they fucking up.
Warner Brothers is doubling down and saying that live action service games are their future. So the next Hogwarts Legacy, guys, expect it not to be what you purchased this time around. I'm calling it now. It's going to be Hogwarts Legacy ... whatever the hell else live service experience. It's going to be... I'm just going to bullshit and say a HellDivers clone with Harry Potter. You're going to be dropped down into a world full of ghouls and ghosts, and you're gonna join 32 other players and try to kill everybody. I don't know what Warner Brothers is thinking about, Chris. I don't get it. Live service games have their place. You know, Fortnite, Apex Legends, HellDivers is considered live service games, obviously. The problem is that when you get one HellDivers game, everybody else is going to try to jump on that bandwagon. You best believe... Hey, what's today's date? Today's
the 9th. March 9th, I believe.
You and me talked about this lightly last week, but I guarantee you there's going to be a Halo HellDivers clone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now that they didn't get HellDivers on the Xbox. So do you know what they're going to do?
Yep.
It's going to be Halo, whatever subtitle, HellDivers clone. They're gonna bring back ODST. It's gonna be ODST, but HellDivers. You're gonna be a replaceable guy from Halo in the Combat Evolved world, and you're just gonna get dropped down on. It's gonna be the Covenant on one side, and it's gonna be you on the other side. Master Chief and all those guys are gonna be background guys, and you're just gonna go in there and you're gonna attack planets.
Okay, but here's the problem.
They're gonna fix whatever that is. I mean, they got time to whatever that is.
Yeah, but here's the problem. In my head, the problem is how long it takes for them to make games.
So yeah, no, you're right. It takes about 5 years.
4 to 5 years from now,
but
at minimum,
they can reskin whatever they got on the works.
Yeah, but the minimum, if they already have something in the works, I
think they do.
So 4 to 5 years from now,
judging what WB said, right?
So 4 to 5 years from now, we as gamers could be on something new.
Absolutely. So
and it could be bad timing.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I'm afraid for the future. There's a video game crash coming in the future.
Oh, it's coming,
and we're not there quite yet. And it's only gonna be a few survivors of this. We're gonna see the big players bow out because they don't want to lose any more money. There's only a handful of companies out there that have a war chest full of money and no debt. The rest of them are severely in debt and trying to pump out more games and trying to cater to us. Now, all of that is like, listen, Warner Brothers, Sony, Microsoft, we know that the next 3 to 4 years of video games are going to be a hell of a lot of live service games, and there's gonna be a handful that populate and do well, but it's gonna be like 1 per year. 1 out of 15 that are gonna get dropped is gonna be massively popular. Fortnite's not going nowhere anytime soon. That's gonna be around for the next decade.
Yeah, that's not going nowhere.
It's not going anywhere. HellDivers 2 is going to be around for a little while. I think that's going to be the survivor of the next, until the PlayStation 6. I do believe that's probably Sony's biggest game for the next couple of years. I honestly believe it. If they keep updating it and if they keep it going, they hold out for the next 2 to 3 years, PlayStation 6 can launch with HellDivers 3 with optimized 4K 120 frames per second on your PlayStation 6?
Yeah. So like
that would be massive.
I can't remember the number, but I believe PlayStation announced that they were gonna do 15 or 16 live service games. I know that
it's a lot.
6 of them were maybe canceled, or they were 5 to 6 were canceled.
Thank God.
What we got recently that I could think of off the top of my head was Foam Stars, HellDivers.
By the way, did you play the demo? Did you ever download that?
Yeah, I downloaded it. I played it.
What was it like? Because I haven't even touched it.
So I downloaded. I played the tutorial. I was searching for a match. I couldn't find a match.
Oh wow!
And
interesting.
I went on,
and it was free, right?
It was free. It was free if you got PlayStation Plus.
Well, a lot of people have PlayStation Plus, and you couldn't find a match.
And I went back to
playing whatever. So it's dead in the water. Foam Stars should have come on Switch. I'll just say that right now.
Yeah,
it should have come on Switch.
It was more of a Switch game, but I still
great looking game.
Like now that I think about it, like I'll try it again.
So we're gonna hold off. Yeah, try it again, man.
I'll try it again
because like it looked promising. It reminded us all of Splatoon, which is an amazing game. It's at least an 8.5 out of 10.
Yep.
And all the Splatoon games have been amazing. So Foam Stars to be like a clone of that is not by any means bad.
And it's made by
Squaresoft or Square Enix.
People that made Final Fantasy.
Square Enix is a great company, and they make Tomb Raider now.
Yeah, so I mean that's why I gave it a shot. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't find a fucking match so quick. Like it just launched.
Yeah, it took pretty long.
That's really that's
and I wasn't.
That's bad news at launch.
I backed out. I joined again, and I was just like, okay. And I moved on.
Back to HellDivers.
Yeah, and HellDivers. So now, when it comes to
HellDivers 2, guess what's coming out, man? Or launched today.
Well, before we get to that.
No, but we're running to the end of the podcast.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
HellDivers 2 launched a new update. And last week, we saw the nerfing of some very popular guns.
Like 4 days ago, we saw they nerfed the railgun and
the Berserker, I think, right?
They nerfed the Breaker shotgun.
Breaker, yeah, that one. And which was like very popular and also incredibly helpful. God, we missed that. And so they nerfed it, but they did increase the laser cannon, I believe. And also, we are now including mechs.
Yeah, I'm excited.
As of today, I haven't played with the mechs, and they dropped today.
Yep.
I just got out of work. He just got out of work. We came straight here to get drunk, and
borracho.
But did you know there's a Mortal Kombat character named Borracho, and he's a Filipino drunk man?
Anyway, I haven't played Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat.
I think it's like Mortal Kombat 5, Borracho. Yeah. Borracho is like a drunken character. And also hilariously, because, he's drunk. Anyway, we are drunk. So, the drunken idiots at StarFlagMedia. But yeah, mechs are in the game now, Chris. I'm excited to play that. I don't know. I already know.
I don't know how much they cost. I wanted to save my money.
I don't know.
I wanted to save my requisition points and the credits and the samples and all that, so that way buy them. I could get one when they drop. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, it'll just be a stratagem that you call in."
That's what I thought too.
But I don't know. I really don't know.
I haven't played today, and we're probably gonna play tomorrow. Hopefully, play tomorrow.
But if I was running the company, I'd say, it's a stratagem. But we need super samples and rare samples and da 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 da.
No, because they nerfed everything. I think that's the next. Like, we need to even the playing field. If anybody out there is trying to spread democracy like the rest of us, at this time, we need you guys. We need you guys to join on Steam. We need you guys to join on PlayStation 5. We got a secret secret person that's trying to join our squad that I've been talking to. So we're trying to get him on the squad, and he's a PlayStation guy. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he's got a PS5, so it would be a PS5 player. Anyway, so we're trying to get him onto our squad with you, me, and Cyclone, and then we got our fourth.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so
Sergeant America.
So we got to get our mechs going, right? And if we got our mechs, that would be cool, man. If it's just a regular strategy, I know I'm only at like level 9 or something like that. So I don't have enough stratagems or levels for that.
Last week, I was like, yo, I know that the game didn't grab you, and you haven't really been playing. And
I played a couple more rounds.
Come to find out this week, you haven't really been playing.
No, I played a few more rounds.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not doubting that. So what I'm saying is,
it's just work, man. Work is crazy.
Yeah, you didn't really level up more. So now I remember there was a meme that I seen on Reddit, and my whole thing with HellDivers when they nerfed the weapons that everyone was going to.
Yes,
was like, all right, did you nerf this? But are you gonna buff this gun? Are you gonna buff this? Whatever. So the whole Reddit and the online community was at odds because it's like, wow, you just nerfed something and everyone is split.
Right.
So now this is before we knew mechs were coming, but we didn't know when or how long we had to wait.
Right.
So when everything was,
you can move into frame.
So when everything was split, it was more like what are we gonna do? And for me personally, I used the flamethrower. I used the arc thrower, the electric gun.
The flamethrower, they got buffed.
They buffed the flamethrower.
Holy crap!
It worked.
It works now. It works now.
But I probably killed myself 2 times using it
because of the flames on the ground. But me as a new guy, when one of you dudes dropped the flamethrower and I got a chance to
pick it up and use it,
it was like, oh, thank God. Thank God I got this thing.
So now the meme that I seen on Reddit, it was like level 20 plus and level 20 under. And it was like all the level 20 plus dudes is arguing over, oh,
I wish I had
this
the breaker.
Is not gonna work.
I wish I had the breaker.
And all the under level 20 dudes is going,
thank God.
God. What's gonna, so
I'm just so happy.
It didn't bother them.
Not whatsoever.
And it was just like, I don't know what the problem is. I mean,
that's probably so Arrowhead probably looked at their player base, and
that's what they said they did.
And I think they kind of realized that there's gonna be a diehard people who've been there since day one, and there's gonna be like the rest of us who've joined in the last 2 weeks who are starting off, right? So we're maybe joining single player or with teammates, like I did with you guys last week, right? So last week is my first week. I've literally only been playing for 1 week, and I've literally up to this recording have played 4 times. So 4 times is not a lot. That's nothing. That's nothing.
You said a lot. You say, it's all chaotic to me. And
I say when I join the group, I don't want any false expectations. Hey, when I see on the side of the screen it says reinforcement available, I want to try my best as a newbie to get my boys back in the game so that they can help me get to the next part of the mission.
And that's real because it's a different experience when you're below level 20.
Oh yeah.
So for those who haven't played the game, level 20, that's when you're able to unlock everything.
Oh, I can't wait.
So when you're able to unlock everything, you got different tools at your disposal.
Right.
So the problem when you're above level 20 is you got everything and they nerfed the best thing that you could use.
You get used to it.
And yeah, it's just like, wow. And then Now I'm using an arc thrower, and don't forget you're level.
You were killing the shit out of me with that.
You're level 9, right? So everyone who was maybe, I don't know, level 10 and above,
right,
weren't dying. They weren't dying.
They knew to get the hell away from the bugs because there's an arc thrower coming down.
I disagree. I think because I was just using it. I was saving people.
But I didn't even know where I was on the map.
I was saving people.
All I remember,
I was saving. It was other people that was getting swarmed by bugs. I was using the electric gun, the arc thrower, and they weren't getting zapped.
Right, but I happened to be in that line of fire, and not intentionally or anything like that. It was just, you know what do they call it? You know. Collateral damage.
Yeah, collateral damage. Friendlies was harmed.
I just happened to be collateral damage.
But I killed you 3 times that game.
And not because he was trying to. No. And not because I was trying to.
I probably killed you once intentionally.
I laughed every time. I didn't
because you killed me. You killed me. You killed me. And
I don't know how.
I think you threw a grenade. Either way,
maybe, but
I had a big red banner and it said "Killed by UWA Avenger."
Perhaps. So
the fuck no, perhaps. That's what happened.
Here's why
so then you called in your heavy machine gun, and I threw a grenade at you.
So you killed me
on purpose. Killed you on purpose.
So that's
and
not.
I teabagged your body, and I laughed, and I picked up your machine gun.
Okay.
And I waited my 3 minutes until my gun came back.
So I didn't know any of that happened. That's the.
It could have been another person.
The most funniest part was that I didn't even know any of that happened. Here's why I know I didn't do it on purpose, because I don't use grenades in the game.
I killed somebody else. It's teabagged them.
And I'll say why, because I know that grenades, they help, but usually they're best for killing the bugs from spawning.
Yeah.
And we've been playing a lot of bugs games.
Close the holes.
So I only use the grenades when I notice that it's a bug hole and I can throw grenades into it.
Yeah.
So I know I didn't throw grenades.
Yeah.
Now, if I threw a sentry gun and the sentry gun killed you, yeah, that was me. I did that.
It could have been a sentry gun.
I did that.
It could have been a sentry gun. Yeah, you're right.
Or
it could have been a sentry gun.
I did that. I learned not to use mines because James, unfortunately, Cyclone doesn't navigate mines well. Apparently,
yeah, he does not. And I learned not to
mines.
I learned not to use mines because I killed Cyclones a lot with the mines.
So I stopped using.
He was the only one that just seems to just
run into the mines.
Run into the mines.
They're big and red. And they glow.
They glow. Yeah, they
you can avoid them.
Yes. He's the only one.
But he's like, I'm just gonna run into the mine.
So I learned that Cyclone may be colorblind.
He might be colorblind.
And he runs into the mines.
Yeah.
And what made me stop using them was the day that I ran into a mine.
By mistake?
Yeah, it was by mistake. Yeah. It was like
you didn't see it. It was big roaring, big.
It was one of those.
That shit blew you up.
It was one of those kill as many bugs as you can and extract missions.
Yeah, that's my favorite type. It's the easiest.
It was cool. Yeah, it's the easiest. And I was playing with lower level random people, and you know, all they got is mines available. I was there,
right?
And they threw the mines, and they threw the mines when the plane was dropping down.
Oh, nice.
So
you're gonna get extracted.
So you don't see them spinning because they spin, and it's just throwing all the mines out.
I love those damn things. If you can avoid them, oh man, they're fantastic.
So it was one moment where I'm swarmed by bugs. I'm killing bugs. Right. The bugs is finally clear.
Yeah.
And then I look and I go, oh, Cyclone. What the fuck?
Here comes Cyclone. Running through the minefield.
Yeah, it's only Cyclone that get killed.
Here comes Cyclone running through the minefield. Hey, you know they're glowing and they're red, right? And all you hear is, "Ah, man, I got blown."
Yo, they had the mines by the evac ship, and I was like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing?" And I said, "Yo, I dropped 10 samples." Oh, dude, sorry, I can't pick them up. It's crazy. And I was like, "Bro, if you don't get these 10 samples,
hey, Cyclone, you might be colorblind." Because all I remember is dropping a landmine or the mines, and all I remember was
red,
all I saw is like boom, 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 and he's like, "Oh man, the mines."
He always complained about the mines,
And
but he's the only one that died from them. I promise you, he's the only one that dies from them. He might be colorblind.
Like, I've seen mines, and like the ones that even I drop, like I know how to like, and I'm brand new, and I know how to like, hey, I'm not gonna step on these because they're bright red and they glow.
Now, I'll give Cyclone some bail. There are some times where the camera doesn't show when.
Nah, I don't give him any bail because Cyclone got the latest graphics card, 180 frames per second or whatever the hell he's doing.
Camera.
240 frames per second, and my boy is supposed to be PC Master Race. I got a budget PC. I'm barely scratching 1440p, 100 frames per second, unlike optimized settings. So. No, I give him 0 passes.
Yeah,
I don't run into mines.
The times
and I'm brand new.
Have you ever ran into a hole and you just fell to your death?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, so there's
Not
times
yet.
where you're running to.
But I played 4 times.
There's times that you will be running to save your life, and
I've done dumber things.
What you think is just a hill that you're gonna run over. You fall down to a bottomless pit, and it goes do 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 do.
100% haven't done that yet. Not yet.
And I fell down too.
I can't wait.
But it's because of the camera. The camera don't tell you because it's third person.
Gotcha.
So the camera does a trickery where you don't see the hole that's in front of you. That it's a bottomless pit. Gotcha. So sometimes you could run into a mine and you could go, "Oh shit, that's a mine." And it's been times I ran into a mine and I go, "Oh shit, I dropped on a mine." But normally you would say, "Oh shit, it's a minefield." Or, "Oh shit, I'm in a minefield." James just go, "Oh fuck,
I'm just gonna sprint through this."
Who put mines here? But like it's a difference.
Like they're not even on the screen.
You can see them.
You can see them.
You can see them. You can see them.
Anyway, so this week's StarFlagMedia episode of Drunken Idiots was wild. HellDivers2 is probably going to be our topic for a long time.
Yeah, man, it's a great
game.
It's a great co-op adventure action.
What's great about it too is also like you're not playing PvP, it's player versus like the computer.
Yeah, player versus environment, PvE.
Which is great.
So it's less toxic.
Yeah, it's way less toxic. There's still gonna be times where you can laugh and you can blame like we just did. We can blame our teammates for dropping mines.
Yeah, I got kicked a few times.
Orbital, whatever.
I got kicked a few times for not having meta weapons or whatever. But but it was so quick to find a new game that it wasn't it
wasn't like any sweat off our backs.
Yeah,
last time I got kicked out of the server, it was pretty fast to get back in and join my boys back in the middle of the mission. It wasn't a super big deal.
Onto that note,
you finally had your first kick.
I had
on PlayStation.
Yeah, I had maybe 4 kicks since we last discussed about it, and I found that odd or funny because I was like,
Mister, I don't get kicked.
Yeah, it was just like. Yeah, I think I jinxed myself.
You jinxed myself. Yeah, maybe you got back onto the servers that the rest of us were on. It's still not 100% clean. They're getting there. They're close. For the most part, though, we've had some pretty.
It's a good experience.
Yeah, nothing that I would be like, oh man, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's impossible to get on.
Yeah, and in my experience, it's a good problem to have, man. If you got, if your problem is not gameplay. But it's a limited
or something. You can fix that.
Server access issue. Like that's completely different compared to.
Yeah, it's more money at this point. It's just like, hey, Sony, we've got a freaking hit on our hands. Like,
help me, help you.
We're a second party.
Help us create. Help us with this money.
You've got a sleeper hit on your hands, and hell. There hasn't been a third-person shooter this big since Gears of War.
Yeah. Oh, so boom. So the nerfs were bad. in my opinion. So what happened was, it was like the nerfs just screwed everything up. We were all mad for like 2 days, and then they dropped mechs, and now it's like,
maybe we'll see.
We love you again. So gamers, we are finicky. We
just love our stuff that we have.
Yeah.
We don't like our stuff being played with too much. And if you are gonna play with it, pause. Just give us something better at the other end.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our episode this week, man.
Yeah, it was listen, man. Listen, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Absolutely.
We do this for fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not
Share,
about the money.
Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on the page. We're not getting rich off of this. We're a brand new channel. Really, our goal is really humble. We just kind of want 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be cool, right? 100 subscribers.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. And then we can go from there and see what's going on with StarFlagMedia this week. And yeah, join us next week for more of the same. We're probably gonna do a little bit more of nostalgia episodes. Maybe some more top 10 lists, things like that. Let us know what you guys want. If you guys want us to continue the formula the way we've been doing, we're going to do that. We're going to do news every once in a while. Obviously, the big stuff is coming up.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, man.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. That's coming up. In
WrestleMania is coming up in July.
WrestleMania
is coming up in a couple weeks. So
we're gonna live stream that if you want to be down. I'm not sure if Talents will be here, but I'm down.
I'll be here.
And we'll order some pizzas, we'll order some wings, and we'll watch WrestleMania live. You guys can get it on Peacock or whatever services you have on your end. But yeah, at the end of the day, we want to thank everybody for being here. Like, subscribe, share the channel with anybody that you may help, because that really does help us. We're a brand new channel. And as always, I'm Anthony, UWA Avenger.
Chris, aka Talents A60.
And we are StarFlagMedia. Thanks for joining us.
Deuces.